Alrighty. Grizzlies fans, today is your day. There is a lot going on in Memphis, to be completely honest. There has been quite a few moves made, which, as we probably all know by now, with my job being what it is, makes my job a hell of a lot easier when I've got, more than one trade to talk about, like I did with the Cavs yesterday. So it makes my life a lot easier, which is awesome. I'm pretty much going to dive straight into it. You guys already know what I'm doing right now, if you've seen any of the videos. Basically, I'm going through all 30 NBA teams and basically talking about the trades, the ins, the outs, the signings, all of those sort of like the rumors and everything as well. I'm just basically doing it for every NBA team because we are in the middle of the NBA offseason. As I am here, it is currently August. And yeah, we are another 2 months away from any sort of NBA basketball. So it fills in a lot of the time. If I do one team for pretty much every day, it fills in a whole month. And just like that, we're a month out from basketball. So I think it's probably one of the best ways to do it. Grizzlies fans, starting off with you guys today, we have the biggest probably news out of everything is you've lost Desmond Bane. He was your best three-point jump shooter. He was arguably probably your second best offensive option. The argument is, to be had between him and Jaren Jackson, but the more consistent scorer was Desmond Bane. Everybody is probably in agreement with that. He has now gone to the Orlando Magic. However, there is a silver light for me with the Grizzlies and what they've done. They brought in a veteran in Contavious Caldwell-Pope, who is a really good jump shooter in himself. I think he, NBA champion, knows how to shoot the basketball. He won't quite be as offensively gifted as Desmond Bane was and won't be able to go out there and give you 30 a night. But Contavious Caldwell-Pope will be able to space the floor for Ja. And I think the biggest thing with the Grizzlies right now is trying to space the floor for Ja Morant. Because if Ja Morant is healthy and he's on the court, and not only is he healthy, is he also not getting suspended. He is the face of the franchise and he is the best player in your team, and you don't want the ball taken out of his hands too often. So Contavious Caldwell-Pope is going to give you exactly that. And I think for that reason alone, it makes the trade better for the Grizzlies because they at least get a decent rotational piece back. KCP more than likely will start next season because he will start at that two guard and he will probably give you, what they need as a team on the offensive side of the floor. Not only is he good offensively, but he to me is probably a slightly better defender than Desmond Bane. Because Desmond Bane, as good of a shooter as he is and as good of an offensive player as he is, he also has T-Rex arms and he's 6'0". So offensively, he is a great, but defensively, the only thing he has going for him is he's built like a truck and you're probably not going to move him off his spot too easily. So the great trade, honestly, like for what you were going to get for Desmond Bane, I think they did really well. I'm pretty sure they gained a pick or so in the trade as well. So that is huge for the Grizzlies because the Grizzlies need to keep buying into the youth, but also at the same time bringing in some of those veterans like KCP who are going to control the floor, they're going to look after the offense, and they're going to help your Ja Morants of the world with, your defensive stuff. He's been around the league for a long time. So he's going to be able to give knowledge to the other players and help them along, and who knows where we see them sort of next season. Another signing, which I found out yesterday post-recording the Cavaliers video, Ty Jerome is a Memphis Grizzly. Forgot who he signed the contract with. I knew he signed a contract elsewhere, but I wasn't completely sure where it was. Turns out it is in the great city of Memphis. So Ty Jerome will be that backup point guard for Ja Morant. Honestly, an amazing pickup. He will do exactly what the Memphis Grizzlies need him to do. Control the second unit. Because this year for the Grizzlies, the second unit was really bad. Doesn't help when you've got an injured Brandon Clark and an injured Zaire Williams and those sorts of guys who have since moved on to other teams, but they're still around. Brandon Clark's still around. Zaire's long gone now. But when you have injuries to those sorts of wings and those guys, really doesn't help the bench. And I'm not sure if G.G. Jackson's still on the team or not, but G.G. Jackson was developing really well. Vince Williams Jr., another one who was developing really well. Whether they're still on the roster or not, I'd have to go back and look at. But about the only people you had on your bench last season was your Scottie Pippen Jr.'s, your John Conchars, and your Santi Aldamas, who, don't get me wrong, they're decent rotational players. But John Conchar, to me, is more like a ninth man in a rotation and not a seventh. If that makes sense. Like, Ty Jerome is going to make that backcourt better when the substitutions come in and Ja Morant's off the court. Ty Jerome is proving himself in this league. So we can't take anything away from what Ty Jerome's doing, how he's developing himself, and hopefully he continues to develop. Because if he continues to develop on the path that he was with the Cavaliers last season, he's going to do a lot of good things for this franchise over the next, I'm pretty sure it was a 3-year contract. I could be wrong. It was 2 or 3 years, but I'm pretty sure it was 3 years. So who knows what will happen over that sort of time. Another big thing for the Grizzlies this year is how much of a leap does Zach Edey take? Zach Edey is an absolute behemoth of a man, 7'1", 7'2", with shoes on. He can grab rebounds. He can, defend around the ring really well. But there was a couple of games, especially in that game against the Warriors in the play-in last year, he got exposed when it come to his offensive output. He gave them absolutely nothing in that playoff game. And the tallest player on the Warriors is Draymond Green. Really says a lot about how, what his offensive output was for the last, year. So if he can start taking strides, and if over this summertime he has taken strides on the offensive side of the ball, he will make the team that much better. Because you've got Jaren who is stretching the floor, and Jaren, even though his jump shot is one of the strangest things I've ever seen, works time in and time out. If Zach Edey can be that rim presence, he will change the way the Grizzlies play basketball. It's just as simple as that. It's all about the development of the young guys more than anything. Obviously, while you have a Ja Morant on your team, they have always been a decent team to play against. I think they've made the playoffs pretty much every year that Ja Morant has been fully healthy. Provided they made it this year and got absolutely stomped by the best team in basketball. They get out to a 30-point lead, Ja gets injured, and whoop-de-doo, next thing you know, look at that. OKC's in the lead. It's as simple as what it is. Ja Morant will make that basketball team. He is one of the few players in the league where, no matter what you say about him and what the analytics are and everything about that, his team are not the same without Ja Morant on the court. So it's as simple as that. We will see what the development looks like. But for the most part, I like the moves from the Grizzlies. Another little side one that they had, they got Jock Landale, Australian centre. Shout out to Australian hoopers around the world. Really love to see it. Jock Landale's been in the league for a couple of years now. And if anyone knows anything about Australian basketballers, they're not in the league a very long time usually. Ben Simmons somehow is still in the league, and about the only two successful ones in this time are Patty Mills and Andrew Bogut. So, yeah, shout out to Jock Landale doing great things. He will also be able to stretch the floor and give you more offensively. So if, as I said, Zach Edey isn't giving you anything offensively, Jock Landale will be able to do that. He will be able to better produce for you on the offensive side of the ball and give you a good, couple of minutes of offense if you desperately need it and you're on an offensive rut or something along those lines. We will see. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's been 3 big moves to the Grizzlies. Youth development is going to be their biggest thing. I don't have a single doubt in my mind that is going to be the case. They have to develop, their young guys. Jaren's still getting better. Jaren's at the point where he's sort of going into his prime. Jar's probably a couple of years away from his prime, I would have to guess. But Zach Edey is still developing. John Concha is, there is still time for him to get slightly better. Luke Kennard shooting the basketball as well as he does. It's just about how that rotation goes. And what the rotation looks like, I forget who the Grizzlies head coach is now. I'd have to actually look that up because ever since Taylor Jenkins has gone out of a job, I've kind of forgot who it is. Thomas Liasso. Some assistant coach stepped into the role. Anyway, we'll see how he goes with the rotations and what that sort of looks like. But that will be crucial towards the Grizzlies and what they look like down the track. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you, Grizzlies fans. Who's next? Hawks are next. So I will see you guys with the Hawks tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, subscribing if you're liking me, going through all of these teams. Because sometimes we've got, the casual fans who basically tune into their team and none others. So basically what I'm trying to do is expand the game, expand my love for the game and knowledge of it, and basically give you casual fans more of an idea of the entire association. That's my goal. That's what I'm trying to do. So thank you guys for watching, liking, subscribing if you like this content, and I will see you guys tomorrow with the Atlanta Hawks. Thank you guys.